Hey Game Gurus, welcome back to the channel. Well, today we have a Ti-99 4A needing a little TLC. This one was sent to me by my friend Tim, who sent me quite a few consoles and items. And this one he shipped to me in working condition, and he said everything was fine. But in shipping, of course, they're not always the most gentle. It looks like some keys came off, but they should be easy to fixable. But we're going to clean it up. You can see we have some dust bunnies. So I'm just going to open this up and hit it with a good old compressed air. And we'll get this thing cleaned up, see if it fires back up, and well, we'll go from there. Today on Glenn's Retro Show, some Ti-99 4A love. Game on. Now this was actually the very first home computer I owned. I actually own a few of these Ti-99 4As, and they're pretty amazing and crappy at the same time. One of the good things about them is the look of it. The black and the stainless steel on the original model is just beautiful. And this is actual real brushed stainless steel, but of course they do scratch and they ding kind of easy. But that is what it is. If someone ever made new stainless steel parts, I would probably buy a bunch just to put them on all my machines. The good thing about the Ti-99 4A, this was in fact the very first 16-bit home computer. And the video chip, sound chip, memory architecture went on to many other machines like the ColecoVision, MSX, some Sega consoles. So the chipset and the video technology in this machine was very, very far advanced. Now, I'll put it up against the Atari as far as advanced the chipset was. The downside was it wasn't originally designed to be a 16-bit computer. It was originally designed to be an 8-bit computer. They didn't have their 8-bit CPU ready in time, so they used their TMS 990 mini computer CPU and kind of crammed it in here. The CPU inside here is humongous compared to everything else. And of course they had to use a bunch of glue logic and other things to make them work together, which should have been an amazing, most advanced, most incredible computer that literally scared the entire computer market. Because when they heard TI was going to get into the home computer sector, everyone else was freaking out. Because they know TI with calculators and they made their own chips. They always did quality stuff. In this particular case, though, they definitely screwed the pooch. I love my TI, but it is very slow. The Basic is one of the slowest in the market. You could put a Timex Clear 1000 and do a basic program for calculations. It'll probably beat the Ti-99 4A because the Basic interpreter is very slow. Now, you can write directly to the assembly language, but again, you're still basically handicapped by all the glue logic in here. But that's, again, going far beyond, as usual, what I normally should be doing here. I'm going to open this thing up and get it cleaned out and see if it fires up. So let's get started with that. Get out of here, little spider. Get out of here. So the first thing we'll do is just turn this bad boy over. And I'm going to try and protect the stainless steel as best I can. And basically just going to take out some screws here, which I'll do. Just regular Phillips head screws. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll be able to pull this case off. Now, the way they did this is really weird. You can pull the bottom off, and everything is actually screwed to the top of the machine, so it's really a pain in the ass to get everything out, but here we go. Okay, once you take out all your screws, the bottom will simply lift more or less right off. Now this power supply switch is sometimes in the way. Let's take a look here. We got to pop this little bad boy off. It's a little difficult sometimes. It's got to pull, and it does pull right out. It's just got a clip on it. So I'm going to put this down just for a second. And like I said, this should just pull right off. And it's not too bad. It's a little dusty. But this is your power supply here, your keyboard. Then everything else is in here, which is your CPU, your memory, everything else. So we got to start taking all these screws out. Takes all apart. You can see everything. Oh, you can see all the dust bunnies in there. So everything is attached to the top of the console, which is kind of, well, I guess dumb, and even manufacturing-wise, I guess a little dumb. But we'll get this all apart and start getting the air compressor just to clean up the dust bunnies. Okay, you only know how to take out actually a screw from here, and a screw from here, and this will now lift out. But our keyboard is still going to be connected here. So I'm going to have to disconnect 1, 2, 3, 4. I think one of these 4 have to come out, not all of these. And I should be able to take out the keyboard. Okay, we've taken those 4 screws out, and the keyboard is out. So I'm going to remove everything, and well, we'll start cleaning it. Okay, you can see we got some dust bunnies here and lots of dust on the main processor here, a lot on the cartridge connector and the keyboard. So I'm gonna blow these all out. I'm just using a compressor here for air. Blow it out, and we'll get it all cleaned up, and we'll start putting it back together. Now, the one good thing about the keys on this particular keyboard is they just slide right off. So I'm going to take all these off and just I'm going to wash them. Get them nice and clean. Ti was always very good with making quality stuff, and this actually is pretty easy, so like, why not, right? A little soap and water make these nice, just nice. I mean, some of these manufacturers got to pry them up and worry about breaking them. Not Ti, just slide them right off. Now, this one does slide off, but you can see it's kind of locked in. But we'll just slide these off, and I'll take care of that and get these all cleaned up. Now, I'm pretty sure I just got to unscrew this nut, slide this off, and this nut over there, and this one here slides off, and this case should come right off. We could take a look inside the processor area and the memory and how big that TMS990 chip was. Okay, this comes right off. You can see the cartridge connector. They put this in. Sometimes the machine would freeze up because sometimes this would get knocked around and it would lose connection with the cartridge, but for the most part it's okay. But you can see right here the entire design. This is the video chip. They had a heatsink on the video chip. We have the memory, and we have the big TMS990 CPU. See how big this beast was, because this was not designed for a home computer. This was designed for mini computers, basically like servers and stuff like that. But outside of that, it's a very small computing package. We have our expansion port over here, the weird power connector, which anyone has a ColecoVision would kind of recognize that connector, because it's, again, basically the same stuff that's in there. Inside the shell, it's not too bad. So I'm just going to continue, just give it a quick cleaning and put this thing back together. Okay, just a note to future self. So they're all done here. I washed them all by hand, and I probably would use the dishwasher next time. The dishwasher, I think, would have done a better job both on the back side and the front than be doing it by hand. And my dishwasher, probably a lot of them have like a turbo mode where it could be done in like an hour. This probably took me a good 45 minutes to 50 minutes to do these all by hand. So it would have been worth it just to throw it in the dishwasher and have it done, I know, much better than I did. But still, they are done, and we'll get them dried off and put back in the machine. Okay, just threw these out in the sun just to dry them off. And then I'll dry them again with a towel just to be sure. And then we'll just get everything put back together. Okay, we have everything pretty dry here. And I think they're actually looking pretty good. Let's turn this thing over like this. It looks pretty good. And, well, we're going to get this motherboard put back in here. We'll fire this thing up, see if it's still working. And get the keys put back on, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, we got our keyboard put back in, power supply, the main CPU. We got the case all enclosed, got all our screws back in. That's just putting on the bottom cover and then reinstalling the keys on the keyboard. And we'll try and fire this bad boy up. Except this time, all cleaned up. Okay, we have all our screws put in the bottom of the case, and I think that's looking pretty nice. Of course, we still have to install our keys on here, and I just realized, hopefully I can get the the space bar back in. I'm gonna take this thing back apart because I forgot I have to get this hooked on. The rest of the keys will just press on, but I totally forgot about this. So, do I have to take this thing apart? I don't know. It looks pretty cool as it is, if you know where the keys are. But we're going to find out soon enough. I got to take this thing back apart to get this back in. Oh, hopefully I don't. Well, the good news is I have this hooked on. Went on very easy, and I can just press it down, and it's on. So I have to say, out of all the computers I've used, the Ti-99 4A, and I don't know why I never noticed this before. Maybe I did and forgot. But since the keys just pull off and push back on this easy, it's very easy to take these off and clean keys as needed. But I absolutely still would throw these in the dishwasher in a quick cycle, no heat, versus washing them by hand. But yeah, Let me get these keys put back on, and then we can fire this bad boy up. Okay, I think it's kind of pretty good. We got our last letter right here, L. That's it. We have a nice clean machine. I tell you, the keys right now feel amazing. They're not oily. They just feel fantastic. All right. So the next thing to do is really just to turn this thing on and see if it still works. Okay, we have our nice new Ti here set up on an old CRT TV set. You can see the machine, the keyboard, everything looks so nice when it's nice and clean. And the Ti was a very nice looking computer, especially the early versions, which was this with the stainless steel, brushed stainless steel on here. Of course, you know, the stainless steel would always get dented and scratched and things like that. It was kind of unavoidable because people put stuff on top of it and it got scratched. But it's still a really nice looking console. So it also has a very large, always did, a very large TV modulator switch. And this will basically take the AV out, the composite and sound out in the back of the unit, coming out over here. And go through the modulator, turn it to RF to go on channel 3 or channel 4. So without further ado, let's turn the power switch on here. We should get a red light and hopefully something on the screen. And there we go, the classic Ti-9948 Texas Instruments logo. And again, this was my very first computer, not this particular one, but I still have my original, which unfortunately is bricked due to a power supply issue. Long story. I think I talked about that already in the video. But you can, press keys on the keyboard, and the basic is built right into the machine. And this basic here was very simple and very slow, very, very slow. If we type buy, take us back to the main menu. And the cool thing about the Ti is you can turn these things off. You don't always have to. The Ti actually lets you put the cartridges in while it was on. But one of the reasons I wanted to get this working is I got this brand new Passport version 1.0, which is a password program that, I think is a really great idea because this computer is not going to be on the internet. No one has, dial-up internet and acoustic modems and definitely nothing for the Ti anymore. And there's no way for people to get in and steal passwords off of something like this. But that'll be on another video. But in the meantime, this Ti is in fact working, and I'll have some fun with it. I gotta find my joysticks. And that's it for this video. Hope you did like it. It's a fast video. I'm trying to get more into just doing these really fast, simple videos, going back to repairs and cleaning, stuff along those lines, versus very long, drawn-out things I used to do. People seem to like these better. So if you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. It takes 1 second for you, but means a lot to me and YouTube algorithms. And if you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I do lots of things like this and also have product videos and many other things on the channel. But that's it for now. If you did like it, I do appreciate your time for watching. And remember, as fun as all this stuff is, and I do love these old machines very, very much, it doesn't take precedence over family and friends. Make sure you always tell your family and friends you love them. Tomorrow's never promised. But in between those times, try anything but Ti Basic. But in between everything else, game on.